Have you ever tried to manifest a job or some other opportunity only to wind up as frustrated by your manifestation process as you would have by spraying and praying an application to 1,000 different companies? I once landed one of my best jobs ever via manifestation, and I call it that very confidently because the job was so unique and so specific and also fit the list that I had made to a T that it felt hard to believe. It felt almost like something I had actually conjured out of the quantum field, as if the job didn't even exist until I thought to write down a list of items that I wanted in this company and in this role. And it was like, the title was right, the industry was right, the pay was amazing. It put me in the top 1% of earners in my city. But this is the real kicker. That city was Berlin. I was living abroad as an American in Germany. And this company just so happened to have a German entity, which meant that they could sponsor my next visa. I could stay based in Berlin, and they were a globally distributed company. So I could be remote at the same time while living in a foreign country, which was at the time the dream that I was calling in. And by the way, it was 2017 or some year like that. It was before the pandemic, 2017, I believe. So before remote working was all the rage. I think I sent one job application in that entire search, just one, not 700, one. And that was my job, and it was perfect. And so you can imagine my disappointment when manifesting was never that easy again. It was like I had some kind of beginner's luck just to get a taste of what was possible with this playing with the quantum field, playing with possibility before the real work began. And this is what I want to talk about today, because manifesting, although it's not one of my favorite terms, I feel that it has baggage. People understand it, so we're going to run with it. Manifesting takes work. As it turns out, reality is not just a vending machine. You don't just hand it a list and then get back everything you asked for the following week. And if you're a high achiever, that is maybe a tough pill to swallow, because what's appealing about manifestation is the hope that things can be easier. When you are steeped in hustle culture and you are used to going the extra mile for everything, the idea that you can actually conjure up things with your mind is super appealing. And here's the deal. Manifestation principles can absolutely help you to beat the odds. There is so much more available to you than your mind can conceive. And if you want to accomplish something unrealistic or unexpected, then you're going to need at least as much belief as you have hustle. It's just that believing takes effort. Like on one level, manifestation is very simple. It's just a matter of having clear intentions and then feeling good. And I don't mean good in the sense of excited or happy, but whole and complete within yourself. It's having a human ego, of course, that then makes this tricky. And especially if you are a high achiever and carrying high achiever conditioning, then these tools can pretty quickly become just as stressful as any of the other work that you might be doing. So let me break down a few of the main issues to watch out for, and then I'm going to offer you a couple of reframes that have really changed my experience. The first piece is just that feeling good and feeling whole and complete does take effort. It's just inward-facing effort instead of outward-facing effort pointed at your inbox or your content creation, anything else you do in the world. It takes focus, it takes self-reflection, it takes discovery and action. You have to do things in order to change your beliefs. The paradox is that you also need to be able to relax and receive. And of course, high achievers are very conditioned to do and to hustle, which makes it easy for manifestation to turn into just another form of doing and achieving that high achievers will naturally approach by doubling down on like it's their job, visualizing and affirming. And this will, of course, zap the joy right out of it. It will lead you to wonder if you're a bad manifester, and it will end you up trapped in the shadow of the high achiever, which is lack. You're going to be asking yourself questions like, why don't I have it yet? And what am I doing wrong? And this is, of course, not wholeness. Which leads me to the second point, and that is that so much manifestation rhetoric centers around getting somewhere and getting something. And this is fine. Like wanting things is like, it's the carrot on the end of the stick, right? It pulls us forward in life. It gives us incentive to evolve. It's great. The issue is just then when you start to invalidate yourself or your experience when you don't have the shiny object yet. And the reality is that all of your experiences are happening for your growth and evolution. And so when you get hooked on what you're manifesting externally, you end up bypassing the most rewarding parts of the journey, which is actually about what you're learning and who you're becoming. And the final piece that I think can get confusing for high achievers with manifestation is like, do you even know what you want? If you are a lifelong high achiever or high performer, like so many of us are actually still operating from what is socially sanctioned for our lives, whether that's a doctorate degree or starting a business because entrepreneurship is all the rage. But the issue is that, of course, if what you're pursuing isn't coming from the heart, it's not led from like a real authentic desire and yearning for that thing, then you're definitely not going to end up fulfilled, and you're most likely going to end up just with more lessons than not. It's cool to work through those lessons. I value all my lessons, but what I want to point out here is that even just the process of knowing what you want can be a process. And I think in manifestation rhetoric, this is often overlooked. And the irony is that when you are actually succeeding at manifesting, you won't care about the end result because you won't be feeling any lack. So if you're a high achiever and you are in the process of manifesting something big and it's maybe starting to feel a little bit like a grind, then here's what I want you to take on board. The first is that you are never in lack. Even in those sometimes long periods where you appear to just be waiting for the vision to come to fruition or grinding away or hoping and not achieving, you are not empty-handed. You are gaining wisdom. You are gaining experience. You are gaining resilience, skills, the ability to have the manifestation that you want. You're learning how to be a good romantic partner. You're learning how to be responsible with money in your business. Wisdom alone is a gift, and we truly need it. Think of learning to mind a hot stove when you are small by touching it. That's wisdom, right? And the more wisdom that you're accruing, the more ability you have to thrive. So every part of this journey that feels delayed, that feels like you're not getting the thing you want, you are gaining wisdom. And with it, you are gaining capacity to thrive. Furthermore, when you have a vision or desire that is coming from the heart, not something you think you want, but something that you can feel you want, something you feel connected to, genuine, core, true, heartfelt desire, then that is not some external, material, tangible thing that you don't yet have. The desire itself is a precious treasure that you have. It is something that you have now and that lights this small flame in your heart. Consider it like the flame that is keeping you going. You know, the etymology of the word desire is from the stars, which can speak to having direction, but for me is also a bit cosmic in nature. It's like a gift coming from somewhere beyond you that is a gateway to your wisdom, your growth, and again, your thriving. So appreciate that now. You have a desire. You are not lacking something that you want. You are gaining and have wisdom, not lacking something that you want. My hope is that these ideas help you to relax so that you can receive. Because if you are a high achiever, then that's likely the side of the manifestation paradigm that you most need to practice. And the truth is that things can be easy, not without effort, but easy in how you relate to yourself, easy in how you relate to your work, both inner and outer. Everything is easy when you are easy on yourself. So if you enjoyed this video and this is something that you know that you can use practice with, I have a free EFT tapping resource on letting go of lack mentality. I will link that below and see you in a future video.